It's a rainy old day outside today, so we're going to spend the day inside turning this Yamaha 2-seater golf cart into a 4-seater golf cart. This is the style conversion kit that we've got, and we'll show you quickly how to fit it. So that's the kit laid out: cushions, the flip section, the armrests, the footwell. These are the first parts you're going to install, but to get them installed, and this is why I chose this golf cart, it's been messed with, there's no basket left, but to get those guys installed we have to remove this fella here to get to the bolts for these guys, and these guys, that's to remove the back of that seat. So there's little clips here and here, and they just pop out like that, and grab the center of them, and out they come. And these guys are just a 10mm to remove the back of the seat. And while you've got your 10mm out, knock those ones out as well. And with those seat bolts out, this section will remove. The next bit you're removing is that Allen key head bolt there, and there should be one there, but it's been messed with, and that whole drain will remove. So with those Allen key bolts out, they come away like that. You have a rubber grommet there, can stay there, and this drain will just lift up, and that drain is out. So then your cart is left like that, and next we're taking out those bolts right there that attach the roof post to the basket, because we want to take the basket away. So these guys here next. When you're removing these guys, you don't need to take these bars right out, and you definitely don't need to remove the roof. Pull that bolt, and if you're worried about your paint, and just let him sit down onto that, rag. Just like that, and just let that roof sort of sit there by itself, and then we'll get this basket out. Here's the bolts here, just there and there. So you're taking 1, 2, 3 and 4 out for these legs, and then that whole basket is going to lift up and out. So with all 4 of those bolts out, hang on to the hardware, because they're going straight back in, and that removes. And then these brackets, having the roof supports on the outside, will go in there, and then this guy bolts back into there. So the original hardware back into the hole. Next to go on is this bar, and that's one of the reasons I say leave it loose, in case you've got to manipulate things. Again, don't do him uptight, just leave it loose for the time being. So once they're on, and this is why I say don't do them up, because these holes don't always line up sensationally. Sometimes you just got to rock them back and forth to find the thread in the seat. This one's not too bad. Now these ones, you can do them up tight. Now it's time to start tightening. So when you've tightened up these guys, the bolt's in there, nice and tight. This can go back on. Next step is the only part of the cart that you've got to alter or modify. We need to drill these holes bigger to take this hardware down through there. The way to tell what drill bit you need is obviously get a vernier if you have one, measure the bolt like that, look at the size and maybe make it a fraction bigger. If you don't have a vernier, I'm using a 12mm drill bit. A 10mm will get you out of trouble, but I like to have the little bit of wiggle, just to have that little bit extra space if the alignment isn't quite perfect. You do need to go right through. Those threaded nuts only go into the tube. You need to go right through and out the bottom. So here's the only tricky bit. You've drilled these holes. That plate needs to go on, like so, but it's hitting on that there, like that. There's a number of ways you can get rid of this guy. I'm going to use a grinder. Just a simple grinder with a 1mm wheel. It cuts plastic really quickly. Be careful, it does flick a few bits of hot plastic around. Or you could use a sharp chisel and literally hammer the sharp chisel across the bottom and then down there and just chip it out. Or you could use a soldering iron, like a hot knife. Literally push it in and melt it and then drag it across. But anyway, I'm going to use the grinder. Next we're fitting the seat frame, which is the flip section that goes from being a seat to a tray. And we're going to use small hardware from bag 2. The reason I even do this video is that's the extent of the instructions. It labels what's what, and it's just a verbal instruction. I'm not saying it's confusing, it's just easier if you see it with your own eyes. It'll give you the confidence of grabbing a kit and knowing you can do it. We're going to use these short guys. If you're doing it on your own, the easiest way I find to do it is pop the bolts in the holes first, flip the seat over, sit it on your thighs, and then rest it on that bagwell bracket that you just put in. Grab the hardware for the back of them. It's not difficult, it's not heavy, it's just fiddly. And we won't do them up. And then there's 2 more of them under here. And again, that's why I say leave it loose so you can manipulate it and line the holes up. There's a couple of different options there. An elongated hole, maybe for another kit, and that guy there, but line them up and more hardware in there. Next we go the back seat support and the handrails. Why I say and the handrails is that bolt goes right through and the handrail screws to the outside. So that guy there. For ease of installation, I like to just push them through and have the nut on the outside. The handrail goes on. And just leave the handrail dangling for the minute. Hardware on the outside. The handrail hardware is all from bag 3, and the next guy you need is this fella, and I'll show you why. The reason these guys have got a tapered seat head or a flat head is because when installed into the armrest, that allows the flip section to clear the head of the bolt. As I said, they do have instructions, but that's the type of stuff they don't put, so you'll be forever changing things around. Hopefully this just helps. Next you have the hardware holding the backrest to the armrest, but because of the thickness of this steel, it comes with a spacer so that they don't lean in like that. Of course you can get as fancy as you want and put the nuts on the inside. This is just the simplest way if you're doing it on your own. I say simplest way if you're doing it on your own because if you're coming from the outside with that nut, you're trying to hold this handrail, trying to line that guy up. I just find it simpler. Rest them in the hole. Next goes on, and we're using the rest of the shorter bolts from bag 2. Just let that sit and we'll get our end brackets. The corner brackets and the other long hardware from bag 3, they go underneath the step on that ledge. Through the armrest, through the bracket, and then through the bottom step. So as I say, the bottom bracket is underneath the step and this bracket is behind that bar, both sides. I hope you can hear me because the rain's coming down again, but it's now time to just go around and tighten everything. 17 millimeters socket and spanner. I'm just going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So start out here at the step, then in here, and just work my way up through the bolts up to the top. With everything tightened up, it's now time to put your drains back in, down here. Reinstall your hardware in your drain and make sure that your rubber drain grommet is fitted at the top. And around here, it's a good idea, the drain comes right down into here. Zip tie the bottom of that or it will rattle when you drive. So this is the drain here, it goes right down, and run a zip tie around there. You'll see there's a factory zip tie there, run another one around it. So hardware from bag 5 and seat brackets. Slide away on me. Again, only do them finger tight so you can move them round, so we can line up that hole with this bar. Now I'm under some pressure because my test driver is here ready to drive. So now lining that hole up with this guy here. So you'll see that bracket is there, and then you just tighten up your 10 mils here and the hardware there, and that's the back of your seat. So hardware from bag 6 is for the rear seat cushion, and they go through that way into the cushion. If you see here on the rear of the cushion, that's just the base seat. Goes on that way. And one of these screws, don't forget to put your strap. You could just screw it like that, I guess, but I prefer to put it behind the cushion. Once everything's screwed back on, that's your strap for flipping back over. So it's a 4-seater or flat tray. As far as tools go, there was nothing really elaborate. A few screwdrivers, a couple of spanners, Allen keys for the drains, the drill for the bottom, and of course how to take that plastic section out is completely up to you. I used the grinder, but like I said, you can use a chisel or a soldering iron as a hot knife. So that's it. That's how to turn your 2-seat golf cart into a 4-seat golf cart in an afternoon with simple tools by yourself, or as a trade. Thanks for watching Fix It Yourself. I'll see you next time.